the gospel today, Jesus comes to his hometown and they don't accept him. And that's where we get the famous line where Jesus says, "No prophet is without honor except in his own country." Now it's interesting, they say at the end of the reading that he could not do a miracle before them. He didn't say he didn't want to do a miracle, he says he couldn't do a miracle. And I think there's a powerful lesson in this text about familiarity. The old expression that says familiarity breeds contempt. But we can see from this reading, it also seems to breed paralysis, that Jesus could not do a miracle, that we hold each other hostage through the familiarity inside of family, inside of communities, and so on. You know, that Chesterton, the great apologist, once said, he says, the greatest of all illusions is the illusion of familiarity, where we think we know somebody, and we don't know this person. And so the challenge is really, to quote Chesterton again, Chesterton said, the real challenge is to learn to look at things familiar until they look unfamiliar again. I'll just repeat that. To learn to look at things familiar, particular people in our own family and relatives and so on, until they look unfamiliar again. Because familiarity simply breeds paralysis. And we experience that in our families, our communities. They know us, and in some sense that's the greatest support we have. In another sense, it's the greatest hindrance we have. John of the Cross, the great mystic, has a kind of a cryptic line that's hard to understand, but it's very deep. He says, inside of families, he said, learn to understand more by not understanding than by understanding. To learn to understand more by not understanding than by understanding. And by that he means this, that we think we know each other. So if someone comes to you and says, you know, you're my sister, you're my brother, you're my cousin, I think I really know you, you don't feel known at all. If somebody in your family would ever say to you, you're a complete mystery to me, even though I've known you for 18 years, you feel understood. And so this reading really challenges us, this gospel, to give each other the freedom, to give each other the freedom of non-familiarity. Familiarity breeds contempt. But the task is to learn to look at familiar people, our own family, until they begin to look unfamiliar again.